Imagine walking into a used car lot and spotting a sleek, low-slung sports car with that unmistakable Porsche badge. You check the tag and your jaw drops, $22,000. You blink, rub your eyes, and check again. That's right. The same car that once sold for nearly $150,000 now costs less than a brand new Honda Civic. How can a luxury supercar lose so much value? What went so wrong that a once status symbol has become affordable to the average driver? In today's video, we dive deep into the story of the Porsche Panamera, 911, and Cayenne, the models that saw shocking depreciation, and the hidden reasons why some six-figure Porsches are now worth the same as a mid-range commuter sedan. Stay till the end, because what we uncover might just change how you look at luxury cars forever. Chapter 1, The Dream Machine, Porsche's Rise to Glory. Porsche has always represented precision, performance, and prestige. From the roaring 911 Turbo of the 1980s to the futuristic Taycan EV, every Porsche carries a racing DNA. Back in the late 2000s, owning a Porsche was the ultimate symbol of success. When the Porsche Panamera debuted in 2009, it was marketed as the best of both worlds, sports car speed with executive luxury. It started at around $150,000 fully loaded, aimed squarely at those who wanted the thrill of a 911 with the comfort of a Mercedes S-Class. It was bold, it was powerful, and it was expensive. People lined up to own a piece of that heritage. But here's where the story takes a turn. Fast forward a decade, and these once coveted machines are being sold for pocket change compared to their original price. Chapter 2, The Price Fall, from $150,000 to $25,000. How does a $150,000 luxury sedan fall to $25,000? Depreciation, the silent killer of car value. But in Porsche's case, it's more than that. Take the 2010 Porsche Panamera Turbo. It launched with cutting-edge tech, twin-turbo V8 power, and breathtaking performance. But just 10 years later, it can be found online for less than $25,000. Meanwhile, a new Honda Civic, practical, reliable, and slow, costs around $28,000. This isn't just a coincidence. Luxury cars, especially high-performance German ones, lose value fast because of maintenance costs, complex electronics, and reliability fears. A Porsche that's cheap to buy can be very expensive to own. And as buyers realize this, the resale value collapses, turning yesterday's dream car into today's risky purchase. Chapter 3, The Hidden Cost of Maintenance. Here's the brutal truth, owning a Porsche is not like owning a Civic. Oil changes that cost $300 to $500. Brake jobs that can exceed $2,000. And heaven forbid the air suspension fails, that's another $4,000 to $6,000 gone instantly. These cars are built with precision German engineering, which means when something breaks, only Porsche-certified parts and technicians can fix it. To the average buyer, that means one thing: financial fear. So even though you can buy one for Civic money, you'll need a millionaire's wallet to maintain it. That's why depreciation hits so hard. As soon as warranties expire, values nosedive. The Panamera, the Cayenne, even older 911s, all suffer from this brutal maintenance penalty. It's not the car's beauty that fades, it's the buyer's confidence. Chapter 4, The Psychology of Luxury Depreciation. Why does a brand like Porsche, famous for quality, lose value so fast in certain models? Because luxury is as much psychological as it is physical. When you buy a Porsche, you're buying prestige. But as soon as the newest model rolls out, with better infotainment, sharper headlights, and newer tech, the previous one suddenly feels old. And in the world of luxury cars, old equals unwanted. Even if the car still performs like a dream, it no longer screams status. In contrast, a Honda Civic doesn't rely on prestige. It's bought for function, not fame. So when it ages, it doesn't lose its identity, or its buyers. Porsches, on the other hand, are fashion statements as much as machines. And in fashion, last season's design always loses its shine. Chapter 5, the used car market's best kept secret. Here's the twist: while most people fear depreciation, a select few see it as an opportunity. Enter the smart enthusiast. These are people who buy high-performance cars after they've already lost most of their value. A 2010 Panamera Turbo that cost $150,000 new can be found for around $22,000. A 2009 Cayenne Turbo, even less. And if you're patient and know how to maintain them, you're driving a supercar-level machine for the price of a Civic. That's the beauty of depreciation: it punishes the first owner but rewards the brave second buyer. Still, there's a catch: not all used Porsches are equal. A poorly maintained one can turn into a financial nightmare. But a clean, well-kept car? That's a luxury bargain of the decade. Chapter 6, the reliability myth. Let's bust a myth: Porsches aren't badly built. In fact, most engines, especially from the 2010s onwards, are incredibly strong. The problem lies in the complex systems around them. Air suspensions, infotainment modules, dual-clutch transmissions, all marvels of engineering but nightmares to repair. When these systems age, small failures can trigger massive bills. That's why luxury cars with low resale value often aren't unreliable, they're just unaffordable to repair. Meanwhile, simpler cars like Civics or Corollas can run 500,000 miles on minimal care. So while your Porsche might deliver pure joy at 150 miles per hour, your wallet might be screaming louder than the engine. This is the paradox of luxury: you pay for perfection, but perfection doesn't age cheaply. Chapter 7, who buys a $20,000 Porsche? You'd be surprised. Not every used Porsche buyer is a millionaire or collector. In fact, most are regular people who've worked hard and want to experience that dream car moment without breaking the bank. For them, buying a used Porsche is about passion, not practicality. It's about feeling the heritage, the craftsmanship, and the thrill that comes from pressing the accelerator and hearing that unmistakable exhaust note. Sure, it might need more maintenance. But for many, the experience outweighs the cost. Owning a Porsche, even a used one, still carries that emotional weight. It's the same reason people buy vintage watches, classic guitars, or retro bikes. It's not about what's new, it's about what's timeless. Chapter 8, the Cayenne effect: when SUVs saved Porsche. Here's something ironic: Porsche almost went bankrupt in the late 1990s. Then came the Porsche Cayenne, an SUV that purists initially hated. But it became a global hit, saving the brand financially. However, this success had an unexpected side effect: it flooded the market. Too many models, too quickly. As years passed, the used market became oversaturated with Cayennes and Panameras, pushing prices further down. Add in expensive parts and high fuel costs, and you've got the perfect storm for depreciation. Today, early Cayennes that once sold for six figures can be found for under $10,000. That's right, a luxury Porsche SUV for less than a base Honda Fit. It's both absurd and fascinating. Chapter 9, the numbers don't lie. Let's talk about data. According to automotive research from iSeeCars and CarEdge, luxury cars depreciate around 50 to 65% in 5 years, far faster than economy cars. The Porsche Panamera ranks among the top 10 in worst resale value retention, with nearly 70% depreciation over 10 years. Meanwhile, cars like the Toyota Corolla or Honda Civic retain about 60 to 70% of their value over the same period. So while you might brag about buying a Porsche for civic money, the previous owner lost over $100,000 in value. That's the invisible cost of prestige, one that few ever talk about. The Taycan, though expensive, is built with fewer moving parts and a future-proof electric drivetrain. It's Porsche's way of saying, we're done building cars that lose 80% of their value in a decade. And while older Panameras sit in used lots for Civic prices, new models are redefining what Porsche stands for. The brand isn't dying, it's evolving. And maybe, just maybe, one day those old depreciated Porsches will become collectibles, valued again for their uniqueness. Time has a funny way of turning mistakes into masterpieces. Chapter 14: Why Enthusiasts Still Love Them. Despite everything, the depreciation, the costs, the headaches, Porsche fans remain loyal. Because at the heart of every Porsche is something no Civic can replicate: soul. The steering feel, the engine note, the handling precision, they create an emotional bond that transcends numbers. A Civic will get you there. A Porsche will make you feel like you've arrived. For some, that feeling is worth every penny lost in depreciation. Because passion doesn't calculate value, it experiences it. And maybe that's what makes these cars so fascinating: they're imperfect, expensive, and flawed, but deeply human. Chapter 15: What This Teaches Us About Value. The story of the $150,000 Porsche that now costs less than a Civic isn't about cars, it's about value perception. We live in a world obsessed with the new. But new isn't always better. Sometimes, the best things in life are those that have already been broken in, worn, aged, and real. That $22,000 Panamera sitting in the corner lot might be the best car you'll ever drive. If you can afford to maintain it, it'll reward you with pure driving bliss. But if not, let it serve as a reminder: true value isn't what something costs. Chapter 16: A Lesson in Modern Luxury. Luxury is no longer about price tags, it's about purpose. And maybe that's the hidden beauty behind the fall of the $150,000 Porsche. It shows how quickly the world changes, how technology humbles prestige, and how even icons can fade into affordability. But it also reveals something inspiring. That beauty, craftsmanship, and power don't disappear when value drops. They just become accessible to a new kind of dreamer. So next time you see that used Porsche parked beside a Civic, don't laugh, admire it. It's not a fallen giant. It's a second chance, for someone who never thought they could own one. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the economics and emotions behind car ownership, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories like this. Tell us in the comments. Would you buy a used Porsche for the price of a Honda Civic? Or would you play it safe and stick with reliability over luxury? Either way, remember this: cars depreciate, but passion doesn't. Thanks for watching. And as always, drive smart, dream big, and stay curious.